Hey guys, my name is Alondra and I am the creator of Office Talk. Today I just kind of wanted to go over the past projects that I've had and my experiences with Webtoons and posting on that platform. Kind of going into a little bit of the things that I used to do with my stories and the growth that I received through the past few years of posting on Webtoons and things like that. Um, Before we start, I just want to thank you again for all of the support that I've received on Webtoons for Office Talk. We've just reached 7K subscribers and I'm really grateful for that. If you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe, but let's get into it. So the first story that I published on Webtoons was Up in the Air. This was back in 2020, and Up in the Air was actually a project that I had, a challenge that I was doing. It was the 24-hour comic book challenge. For those that don't know, this is around, I believe it's the first week of October, the first Saturday of October. And the challenge is to pretty much create a 24-page comic in 24 hours. So this was actually my second time doing the challenge, and I never complete the challenge. I've done it for like the past 4 years and I've never completed it, but with Up in the Air, I got to around page 17, and with that I just wanted to continue the story. I pretty much had planned out the beginning, middle, end of the story, so I knew where I wanted it to end. I knew it wasn't going to be a very long story, and it was also formatted in a comic book format, not in the Webtoons scrolling format. This didn't really bother me too much. I still wanted to publish it on Webtoons and see just kind of the response that I would get since I had completed the series. And it was fun. I was happy with it. I was happy that I posted it. I still received a lot of good feedback. And it was just a silly, fun story to tell. After Up in the Air was finished, I was pretty much promoting my daily comics that I was mostly or primarily posting on Instagram, and also my second project, which was Silent Flight. That one again was another 24-hour comic book challenge. And so the daily comics, though, that was something that I had started to kind of promote my Instagram. I really like the daily comic community on Instagram. If you guys ever get into those, there's just a lot of people that are very helpful and very supportive in that community. I had a lot of fun when I was doing those on Instagram. On Webtoons, I don't think they read as well as they did on Instagram, just because the formatting on reading those types of comics are very different from the layouts on Instagram to Webtoons. But I did what I could. I posted them anyways, just because there were projects that I had and that were completed. So again, no harm in posting it. I still received a lot of support on that, and a lot of the themed comics were a lot of fun. The Spirited Away ones were probably one of my favorites. The next series that I started was Silent Flight. This one, again, like I mentioned, was a 24-hour comic challenge. I think I got to around like page 12 on that challenge, just because the art, the coloring was a little more detailed than the one before. And so it just took way longer for me to complete. And this was the first project where I started doing the scrolling layout for Webtoons. That was a bit of a learning curve for me, also, just because the original story was still set up as a comic book setup, and so I was just copying and pasting it into the scrolling format. I wasn't originally drawing it in the scrolling format. And so I think there were still some panels that were too close together. That was something that I received as feedback from some of the readers, was that the panel spacing was a little too close. And so that was something that I tried to correct when I started Office Talk. The story was very lighthearted, kind of a slow burn romance, high school romance, and I really liked the characters, and the owl character was probably my favorite because I really like owls. But yeah, it was just something that I wasn't too serious about. I knew that this was going to be a relatively short story, and so I just wanted to get more used to posting on the webtoons type of layout. Silent Flight was actually something that I entered into a webtoons comic contest. I can't remember what the contest was, but I had originally posted the story before the contest, and so there's essentially like 2 copies of Silent Flight on webtoons because of that. But that was also something really interesting. This was when I was starting to first get more involved into the webtoons community and things like that. And then that kind of leads us to current day, where I'm posting Office Talk. Again, the growth on Office Talk isn't something that I ever expected at all. Again, 70,000 subscribers is just something that's crazy to me. And I am happy with how much the series has grown, and how much it's taught me as well, posting on the platform. I really do enjoy posting on Webtoons Canvas. The community there is just always so supportive. I always enjoy reading your guys' comments on every new chapter. I don't particularly think I'm like the best at drawing, and my storytelling is still something that I would really like to work on. So for future stories, that's really what I'm trying to aim for, is the style, working on my own style, and then also just trying to improve my storytelling methods, because that's just something that I feel like over time, I'll slowly improve on. I'm not where I want to be, but with this amount of support, it just gives me so much motivation to continue future projects. So I hope you guys stick around, and if you are thinking about starting a series, you want to get your stuff out there, I definitely recommend the 24-hour comic challenge. It is something that got me to completing an actual story. A lot of the times before I did the challenge, I had a story in mind. I would write it down. I'd get to maybe like 12-15 pages of it, and then I would just kind of drop it. It never went anywhere. My past projects have always been too ambitious for me to really complete. I feel like with just a 24-page goal, that's just more attainable. You really want to make sure you have a beginning, middle, and end. You don't want to stretch it out any further than that, I feel like, especially when it's your first stories. Really just completing it is the goal, and then post it, even if it isn't in the format that Webtoons is made for. I was hesitant at first to post it on Webtoons with Up in the Air, but I'm happy that I did, and it encouraged me to continue growing with Webtoons. And so if you are wanting to start a series, I say just go for it. And again, thank you so much for listening in today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. So, bye.